What's up, YouTube? Leo Shang here, host of the ExtremePhillyFishing channel, and today, once again, you guys never get tired of this. I'm kind of it, but anyways, we're bringing the mystery tackle box unboxing for the month of June, Panfish edition. So we're gonna do a quick unboxing today, see what is inside our Panfish box for mystery tackle box, and as always, right, as I always do, this box is still sealed, right? All my unboxings are ad-lib. From now onwards, nobody knows what is going to happen, right? Let's do it. Open it up this pack, see what is going on. As I have done my last unboxing, I believe they no longer give you the about your box pamphlet, yeah? So let's see, you guys can have a view first. Right on. Oh, okay, they have changed again. Woo! I guess that's one of the fun things about Mr. Tackle Box. They change stuff every month. Well, some good things and some bad things. Now they have this what is inside. Oh, that is very interesting, okay? So instead of making the about your box digital, for this month, they at least give you a very, very brief description of what is inside in terms of the name of the lure, the company, and the price. So that is very interesting. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We got 7 different lures here in this month's box. So let's do it. Let's see here. We got 1, 2. I'm gonna give you guys an overview first, right? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. There you go. So 7 different lures plus the little Dibble digest, right? Match the hatch, of course, that I never get to win. And the mystery tackle box sticker. For the mystery tackle box sticker, it doesn't say get lucky, right? Get lucky is the lucky tackle box. Man, I put that sticker on myself the other day and I didn't get lucky at all. That night, I did not get lucky at all. So let's see, maybe I put the mystery tackle box sticker on, and maybe something good is going to happen. We shall see. Yo, what is the deal with the sticker, man? I can't even, I know I'm not the sticker master, but is this for real? I can't even open the sticker. Well, it's sticker fail, alright? I'm not gonna open it up and waste time here on the video. Alright, let's see. The first one here in the box is the Classic Spinner by Lock Haven. So let me see here. Where are you? Lock Haven Classic Spinner. And I would like to point out right away, right, that this Lock Haven company, I got a lure from Lucky Tackle Box last month, right? The one that looked like a storm shad, that was exactly from this company, Lock Haven, and I actually liked it pretty much. Okay, so this spinner here is in the value of $4.97. $9. That would be way too expensive, okay? Oh, that's very interesting. They say it is approximately 116 ounce, okay? It says fish with excellence, great for bass, trout, salmon, walleye, and other species, made in the USA. And at the back here, Indiana blame, blah, blah, blah. Okay, let's open it up and check it out. Okay, that's very interesting. Come on, let's see what we got here. Now, in terms of quality, okay, I can definitely tell you right away that the quality on this is pretty good, Not plastic parts, right? All metal. That is good stuff. The blade of the spinner is very interesting. It has a very interesting finish. I'm taking out a few pieces here, right? But it has a very glossy and interesting finish. I'm okay with the purple, Good stuff. I'm definitely willing to use something like this, right? But as you guys know, my favorite is the Johnson minnow spin, right? But hey, this thing, I can definitely see you using something like this in a little creek, right? And catching a lot of fish on it. So definitely something that I'm willing to use. Maybe I should do an MTB slam for this month. What do you guys think? If you want me to do an MTB slam, I'm leaving the poll above here. If I get a lot of positives, I may do a Panfish slam to make everyone happy, okay? Second lure here is the PK Spoon by PK Lures. Where is the PK Spoon? All right, we got the PK, the player killer spoon here. Actually, I don't think PK stands for that, but anyways, I play a lot of online video games. Now it's the player killer spoon, man, on the value of $4.29. Let's see what it says here. Glow eyes. And then there's a language here that I don't know, maybe French or something. Les yeux brillants, some stuff like that. Oops, excuse me. It says here, Pat's original jigging spoon design uniquely weighted for ultimate vibration and erratic action on the drop. Catches, bass, walleye, perch, trout, crappie, pike. So, you know, this is not a simple panfish spoon anymore, right? This thing is a multi-species, catches a lot of different types of fish. And truth be told, you know, for panfish, this would be a little bit too big, okay? Definitely, in my opinion, okay? This is more like for me, for a bass lure, right? Every time I see a spoon like this, it reminds me of a daredevil, right? the traditional daredevil, but this spoon is pretty unique, I'm gonna tell you that much. See, it has eyes on both sides, right, to resemble a little fish. One side is curved. I don't know if you guys can see it or not from the camera, but it is curved to a certain angle, and the other side is actually has a design with little golf ball holes in it, okay? So I'm definitely dying to see what kind of motion this is going to do in the water, you know? I don't know. Spoons are known, right, to do very erratic motion in the water, and that erratic motion attracts the fish. The fish usually thinks that the spoon is a minnow and bites on it. Back in the 1900s, the daredevil spoon was really a big weapon. Nowadays, it seems to me that most anglers, including bass anglers and pike anglers, they have forgotten the art of the spoon, right? I have a few spoons with me, even back here, you know, I rarely use them. I should use them more often, okay? And I have caught some fish on spoons before. It's actually very pleasant to use one, and it's very good to know how to use one. Third bait here in the box is the Junior Fry Soko Baits. Whew, that's very interesting. So right here. Oh, it's the Soko is the Soko Baits Junior Fry, okay? Soko Baits Junior Fry. And of course, they have something at the back that says not for human consumption, right? I guess a kid would get something like this and think it's gummy worms or something, you know? That is actually very possible. Okay, let's open it up. Let's see the Junior Fry. I want to take a look at the texture of the Junior Fry. This is on the value of, wow, $4, man. $4 for a pack of 6. All right, don't take me wrong, all right? But $4 for a pack of 6, I would rather buy some Berkeley Gold products, okay? This is pretty expensive in my opinion, okay? $4 for a pack of 6. And look, let's take a look at the durability of this product, okay? In terms of motion, I can say that the motion is really good. It is made of a very good material, a little bit of oil on the outside, okay? The tail, right, this is air density and it moves this way. So in water density, this thing is bound to move really well. Put this on a 132 ounce jig head. I think a 164 ounce would be too small. 132 jig head, jig it up right under a float or just free falling and jigging. You would definitely catch fish on something like this, okay? I have used baits like this in the past, not this company, but I can guarantee you that with a tail that does this kind of motion, you are bound to catch some panfish. So in other words, I do love this lure, okay, by Soko Baits, the Junior Fry, but I think that 6 for $4, right, is a little bit too expensive, okay, for me. I don't know, man. I mean, people maybe watching this stuff have a lot of money to spend, you know, and they can spend on this stuff, but for me, this is pretty expensive, okay? Next one here, we got the A My Bait. Oh, I got it. Okay, I get it. It's called A My Bait, right? And I guess the 8 means the H, eating, right? 8 My Bait, but using the number 8, we got the Demon Tong Spoon. Ooh, okay, this sounds very interesting. Interesting, I don't know how to pronounce that. The Demon Tong Spoon, alright? So there we go, the Daredevil of the 20th century, okay? Right here on the value of $2.99, $3 for one of these, okay? This is a 1/16 ounce jig head. It says here is low fall, deadly by J&S Custom Jigs. No, I mean, I was just surprised, you know, that it says here 8 my bait, right? And then here it says it's by J&S Custom Jigs. What is this about? J&S Custom Jigs. And here it says it is by 8 my bait, right? I don't know. Whatever. It says here at the back, this is for ice and open water. 1 inch in length, okay? Ideal for all panfish and trout. Oh, this is very interesting. Okay, let's go. And this company is actually, I don't know where it is, but it is made in China, okay? Made in China. This is $3. Okay, let's open it up here. All right, let's see what is this about. So far, I can definitely tell you that when it comes to my lures, right, for panfish, you guys probably watch my videos, you know that I like them on the smaller side, right? Why? Because big lures catch big fish, and the smaller lures catch small and big fish, right? The big misconception in the angling community is that big lures catch big fish and the small lures catch only small fish, which is not true. The smaller you go, more possibilities you have of catching from smaller species of fish to bigger species of fish, right? This is a very interesting spoon. I have never seen something like this before, and I guess it's called the Devil's Tongue because the middle part of the spoon, as you guys can see, don't know how well you guys can see because the light here, right? It creates a shallow hole, okay? And this little tongue here moves, okay? So I guess you can literally call this the Devil's Tongue. Very interesting design. It has a little scale pattern here in the front, right? Blue and gray with a small treble hook. This is definitely something good for your local creek, okay? A little local creek with plenty of sunfish and trout inside, right? You throw one of these against the current, right? In 2-3 feet of water. I think you should be able to catch some fish on something like this, okay? We got 3 more to go. We're 12 minutes in this video. Let's try to make this as short as possible. We got the Impulse Mini Smelt from Northland Tackle. Let's see, Northland Tackle. Where are you, Northland Tackle? Oh, gotcha. All right, we got the Northland Tackle, okay. Impulse Mini Smelt on the value of $2.64. This is the same company, right, where I got those red bugs, the Impulse red bug, last month. Ooh, this is very interesting stuff. Now, this is the gig for this lure, okay? And just keep this in mind for now. This is $2.64. Okay, $2.64. Inside, it comes a count of 5, okay? A count of 5 with 2 small jig heads, okay? Keep that in mind for now. It says here, the Impulse reactionary baits are supercharged with Impulse instinctual attractant. We've been going through a lot of different attractants nowadays, huh? Last month, it was the psychic sauce. This month, it is the Impulse instinctual attractant. Instinctual attractant, okay? That feature a baked-in microplankton formula proven by independent laboratories to be 143% more effective than other leading brands. Now, I would like to point this out because I am a mathematician and I am a physicist, right? Where did this data come from? And why is it exactly 143% more effective? Why not 145? Why not 140? What types of other baits they have used to do this comparison in these studies? Because when I read something like this, 143%, it is just very sketchy from a scientist's point of view, okay? Now, if you put it here on the description that this is more effective than other lures in the market by at least half, right? Oh, okay, that's good data. I can believe that. 143% exactly as it says here. I don't know. I would like to see the data for that, you know. Anyways, alright, let's open this up and see what is inside. And I wanted you guys to keep this in mind, right? The number of lures that comes in and the amount of the jig heads, because this here is $2.64, right? And I use the Gulp minnows, you know, the Gulp Alive minnows by Berkeley, right? That are very similar to this, okay? Very, very similar to this. And I can tell you right away that this will catch you fish 100%, okay? This thing, if you buy it, I highly recommend it. You would definitely catch fish. Look at this, okay? Look at this. And the how this resembles a fish, okay? You would definitely catch fish on it. This is absolutely. You put this under a float just like I usually do. Jig it slowly, multi-species, this is a killer. Now, the thing that I wanted to talk to you about, right? Why keeping the price in mind is that I would buy 5 of these, okay? 5 of these for $2.64, right? Out of my pocket, of course. And maybe I would catch 20, 30 fish on this, right? Because this thing will definitely not last me forever, right? The Gulp Alive minnow that I buy is one jar that comes with more than 30 inch. I buy that for $4, okay? This comes with only 5 for $2.64. I buy the other one for $4 on sale. It's $3 for more than 40 in a jar. It comes with the Gulp attractant that I am sure will beat other brands, also more than 143%, okay? And you may tell me, oh, but Leo, they include 2 little jig heads in it. Well, I buy the trout magnet jig head in bulks also for maybe $2, $3 a pack. I don't know, it comes a lot of them. So in other words, this will definitely work. I'm not saying that the company is bad, I'm not saying that this is not going to work, but I am saying that if you are an angler like myself who wants to save money, right, and buy things in bulk, you would better go off and buy some Gulp minnows with some trout magnet jig heads, because that will save you way, way more money, and that will catch you much, much more fish, okay? I'm sorry, Northland Tackle, this is just my opinion, okay? I don't wish your company anything bad. Like I said, you know, this thing will catch fish, don't take me wrong. But for me, it's just a little bit too expensive when I can buy the other things in bulk on the side, okay? For a lure, of course, that resembles it so much, the Gulp minnows. Alright, next one, we got the Mismo Bait Company's Crappie Jig Head. Okay, where are you, Mismo? Mismo Company, right here. The Edge, it says Mismo Bait Company is stationed in Arizona, USA. Right, Crappie Jig Head. We got here, how many of accounts? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. An 8 count for 214. So let me open this up here and see what is going on. Alrighty, let's see here. And now, you know, from what I can see, right, these little jig heads are definitely just your traditional jig heads that you buy in the market with a little lead split shot attached to it, right? Look, this jig head is made vertically here on the side, so that when you put your lure on this side, right, and you jig it, the lure stays in a horizontal position. This is actually very important. Why? And this is actually one of the reasons why a lot of people fail to catch fish. The natural presentation of your lure. When you have something like this and your lure stays in horizontal position, especially if it is used to resemble a fish, that is crucial, because when the fish looks at that, right, it sees the imitation and it resembles really a fish like that. If you put your lure on, not on a jig head, but on a regular hook, and your lure ends up being a little bit inclined or vertical, the fish will look at it and be like, what the hell is going on with that thing? You know, that doesn't look very real. Maybe I will not bite on it, especially if the fish are finicky, right? So this kind of jigs are actually perfect for some of the baits that came inside the box, right? Let's see how many different baits came inside the rod. Right? Oh, you see? These are actually perfect for these, okay? Although I wish the jig head was a little bit bigger, you know, for these ones, right? This is more 116 to 132 ounce, but you get the idea, right? This is actually perfect for that. For an 8 count, you know, I'm more than satisfied with this. I can definitely use it. There's enough gap between here and here to get the fish hooked, right? So yeah, as you guys can see, not bad at all, okay? And the last thing that came inside the box was the Johnson. Oh man, I don't know why this name decided to call, I don't know why this company decided to call themselves Johnson, but we got the Johnson Crappie Buster Spin R Grub, okay, on the value of $1.99 we got here. Now, Johnson products, I have used some of them. I actually like them a lot. You guys see my videos, I use the Johnson Minnow Spin, pink color, 1/8 of an ounce to 1/16 of an ounce all the time. So I don't doubt this company's quality, okay? It comes with instructions on how to use the Crappie Buster. I'm just gonna open up here real quick. I'm sure plenty of you have used this before, and you know, let's go. Let's check it. Let's check it out. Their grubs, right? And one thing I want to mention about grubs that is very important for all of you to know, right, is that grubs durability is not so important. Okay, if you are buying grubs in the market and you want to buy grubs because of their durability, don't do it. Don't do it. Why? Because the best grubs in the market are the ones that don't have high durability. If you guys saw my previous videos, or I think that video is coming out later, I use a Gary Yamamoto 2-inch pink grub on a small jig head, and I catch fish like crazy. You know why? Because Gary Yamamoto grubs, they're not very durable. You know, they're not very durable. You go out, sometimes the fish bite one time and the tail is gone. You know, and you tell me, oh Leo, what are you talking about? You know, if it is like that is a waste to buy them. No, this is the catch. If you are going to use grubs, you gotta use grubs that have a material that is flexible and thin. Okay, it is not about the durability. It is about fish biting that grub. Okay, grubs that have a tail that is too solid or too thick, they don't spin as fast. They don't do as many revolutions per second in the water. You see, you want a grub that you throw out there and you can reel very slow, and the tail will spin really well. That is what entices the fish to bite a grub. That's why when buying grubs, for God's sake, never buy a cheap brand grub. Okay, I'm not gonna cite names here in this video, but recently on one of the boxes, it came a pack of grubs that was truly horrible. I had a really hard time catching fish on them because the tail just wouldn't spin at the weight of the jig head that I wanted there. You know, with the 2-inch Gary Yamamoto grubs, I can put them on a 132, even a 164 ounce jig head, and when I reel it in very slow, that tail is going to spin, okay? For the Johnson one, I got 3 of them in my hands right now, and I can tell you right away, right, that this will tear up apart real easy. And this is exactly what I want on a grub. Why? Just like I told you guys, when I throw this in the water, right, and I reel it in, the fish will bite it because this will actually be spinning, right? Put it on top of a little jig head like this that also comes with a little blade, right, and it is bound to be a success. And just to do an analogy with this grub thing, right, a lot of people who do fluke fishing, summer flounder fishing, right, down the shore, they know they use bucktails with the gulp, you know, the one with the tail, right? And a lot of people complain to me and say, man, those gulp things are $7, $8 at the tackle shop. Maybe you can get them for $5 online, and they don't last long. Some fish with teeth, they will bite, and then the tail will have a little hole in it, or maybe the whole tail is going to be gone. But see, you fail to realize, right, once again, that you are getting those bites because the tail is soft. If you have a rigid tail, there is no purpose in using a grub, okay? So again, these grubs by Johnson are really good, as much as good as the Gary Yamamoto ones, I believe. I have never used them before, but I would definitely be willing to do so, okay? But anyway, so we got this month's MTB done. I would definitely say that this month's box was much better than last month's bug invasion box. The variety of baits was better, okay? I got stuff that I really liked in it too. If you ask me which one are my favorites in here, right? I think I actually most of them, you know, I would be willing to give it a try. I'm not gonna calculate the values here, right? But you guys can calculate it yourselves and you will see that it will certainly pass the range of $13 to $15, okay? And just for you guys to know, the model of the box that I got for this month was the Panfish number 26. Very interesting. And at the end here, you know, they have their little YouTube channel advertisement where they actually teach you how to do things with these baits, right? So don't come to me complaining that only Lucky Tackle Box and Travis Moran do those tutorial videos. No, MTB do those tutorial videos as well. All you need to do is go out there and look for it, right? Alright, this is it for today, folks. 25 minutes. I think this is a really good time. You know, these videos are way too long. They take forever to edit too and post it on YouTube. But anyways, if you're willing to see more MTB videos on the channel, let me know. Comment below. And if you want me to do an MTB slam with this yours, comment above. I mean, vote above and let me know. And this is it for the video for today. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you guys learned a little bit about all these things. As you guys can see, I'm talking really fast because if I talked slower, this video would probably be 35 minutes, 40 minutes, okay? Anyways, thank you very much for joining for today. Coming up in 2 days, we have a father versus son one-on-one multi-species challenge, all right? We will see who catches more species of fish in one day, myself or my dad. So stay tuned. Tie lines and fish on, brothers. Now let's take a look at this Dibble digest that came in this month's, you know, Mr. Tackle Box. It says here, setting up a beginner's tackle box. You know, we got the KVD here, right? Not quite Darcizzle and her beauty, but anything. Let's see here. Very interesting ways to rig soft plastics. You know, not just in terms of bass, but it's more bass oriented, right? And then we got 3 unconventional catfish baits. That is very cool. And let me see. 3 unconventional catfish baits, 1 dog food, 2 ivory soap, and 3 marshmallows. Ivory soap, man. How did they know that I have a soap video coming up on the channel for catfish, huh? Very interesting. And then we got setting up a beginner's tackle box. Here are 10 necessities. So as you can see, right, the Dibble Digest is a little bit better than the Fish Hound booklet that comes in Lucky Tackle Box, in my personal opinion, because it doesn't just talk about bass, okay? It's not just about bass. See, it says here at the end, reduce tangles. 3 ways to minimize loops with spinning tackle. So this is actually a booklet that, in my opinion, is much more informative because it applies not only to bass anglers, but to all anglers out there, okay? I like it. It is very simple, you know. I just wanted to give some input on that since I did a little extra contents on the, you know, on the Fish Hound booklet last video, okay? Stay tuned for videos coming on the channel, updates every 2 days. I hope you all catch a lot of fish out there. Tie lines and fish on.